Hey guys, Brian here with Wolf's Prairie Outdoors. Just want to say thanks for dropping in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button below. And if you want to help support the channel, check out our link for Big Daddy Unlimited below. They're one of the biggest supporters of the channel right now and really appreciate their help. If you don't know about Big Daddy Unlimited, it's 99 cents for the first month. Basically, they're the Costco of the gun world. So you get anything and everything at dealer pricing or better. They're a great group to work with. Tons of great deals on their website. And it goes up after the first month, but it's still extremely reasonable and pays for itself in no time if you do any shooting at all. Definitely worth checking out. Also, the beautiful leather on the back of here is made by Lee Mason of Mason Leather, Cartridge Cuff Guy on Instagram. If you use code WOLF10 right here on their website, you get 10% off your entire order. I gotta say, this is top quality leather. We've got it on all our lever guns, a couple of our shotguns, and extremely well made, heavy duty hide. Really a good investment for any of your rifles or shotguns. All right, now let's get to the real reason you guys are here. This is our 30-30 hunting rig and also our budget brush gun build. If you haven't seen that series, check the playlist up here. And we go through the entire upgrade of this rifle. This is a Marlin 336W, the most basic Marlin you can buy. It was $400 out the door. And it doesn't matter what grade Marlin you buy, they all have the same internals. They're all going to need the same upgrades. The trigger is the exact same on all of them. The loading gate, the follower, everything's the same. It's just how it looks. Difference in this gun and most of the others is it does have a barrel band, which I'm not super fond of. But again, we wanted to take the most basic gun out there and show you what you can turn it into with a little bit of elbow grease. You can do it all on your own at home. And before you guys get started asking, no, this is not the factory stock. This is off my 1895 SBL. The factory stock was this bright colored beach, I believe it is, and just did not fit the look of the rifle once we got the new handguard on it. So I swapped over. I had a black stock that I could put on my 1895, so I put the gray pepper laminate on here, and I'm loving the way this looks. It perfect to me. One last thing before we get started with the overview. In the description below, there's an episode notes section, and in the episode notes, it takes you to our website where I've linked everything on the rifle for your convenience. Hopefully it helps you guys out. So let's start up front. We've got the rocket pod from Ranger Point Precision. And this is just an end cap replacement. It's merely for aesthetics. Just another way to make the rifle your own. They've got a few different options for these. Behind that, we have the Ranger Point Precision Flyweight Mag Tube. And the Flyweight series is their aluminum series to cut weight on the rifle. So if you're backpacking or hiking in a long ways, you know, ounces turn into pounds real quick. So that's one way you can cut weight. Coming back behind that, the most obvious thing on the rifle is the Ranger Point Precision M-Lock handguard. Guys, I gotta say, this is an awesome addition to the rifle. I gotta say, this handguard is super sleek. The finger channel with the oval cutouts just make it a rock solid fit. I mean, you can get a grip no matter how wet your hands are. Your fingers lock into those ovals and they're not gonna move. And I've had a lot of questions about it on Instagram as far as how boxy it is. It may look boxy in pictures, but it's not boxy at all. And the way your hand just marries up to it, it is a rock solid fit. I absolutely love it. And you know, with the Midwest one, basically it's an AR-15 handguard with the top cut off. So you wrap your hand over it, you can slide if you pull your hand hard enough, especially if it's wet. With this, you're not going to slide with these cutouts. It's just they're dehorned, so it's not going to cut you. It's not going to, you know, scratch you up or anything. And if it is going to scratch you, you need calluses, you big sissy. But it's a rock solid setup and it does a great job. It just excellent addition to the rifle, really improves the functionality and handling. Coming back on the handguard, we have the Hoptic USA Quiver. I've had a lot of questions about these on Instagram. They're an excellent option if that's what you want. And, you know, it just gives you a couple extra rounds up front. We got it on 30-30, 357, and 45-70. They work great. They have an adjustable tension screw on the back, so you can adjust how tight it is on your cartridge, how tight of a grip you want. You know, if you're really rough on your rifle or you're backpacking in or something and you don't want to have to worry about a round coming out real easy, you just tighten that tensioning screw up and it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay put. Coming back a little further, on the bottom we have the Ranger Point Precision lever, and yes, for you guys wondering, rifle is clear. The medium loop lever is an excellent option if you're not looking for that giant loop, which I don't really like. There's a little lag time there, and I don't like slapping my hand back and forth as much when I'm cycling the rifle. I feel like this cuts a little bit of time in cycling. It's not a ton of time, but it's noticeable. I don't like that slap. So I think this is a great option because I don't like your standard lever. It feels really tight on my hand, and it seems like an unnatural angle for your fingers to curve in the lever. So this is a lot more natural, a little bit enlarged finger loop, and just works extremely well. The trigger is the Ranger Point Precision trigger, and this eliminates that lovely Marlin trigger flop. Yes, it will flop if you pull it forward, but it springs back, whereas the Marlin triggers will just flop back and forth when you're walking. It drives me nuts. The trigger is wider, flatter, and serrated than a standard trigger, and I prefer a flat trigger if at all possible. I love them with my ARs and precision guns, and this is as close as I can get to a flat trigger. It is very nicely contoured though, and the serrations allow you to get a really, really positive purchase on the trigger. A lot more repeatability for your follow-up shots. Just, it's a great option, and it cuts the poundage tremendously. It's a lot more crisp, and I really enjoy it. I've got the Wolf Low power spring in here that I got from Ranger Point as well, so that drops the poundage a little bit more. It's around 2.5 pounds, I believe, and it's just super crisp, excellent addition, and no more trigger flop. Coming forward a bit, we've got the Ranger Point Precision loading gate. This is the flyweight series again. It's aluminum, so you know a lot of the Marlin loading gates can be pretty stiff, and this aluminum one, it's a very solid, durable aluminum, but it is very, very easy to push in. The rounds will load right in with no problem. I've had zero issues feeding rounds in. And as far as feeding rounds in, we have the Ranger Point Precision follower in here. And the follower has basically helical cutout on the outside. So instead of this one, it's aluminum over the plastic follower that comes stock. But the cutouts on the outside help to clean the mag tube as you're shooting, because every time it cycles, it's constantly working down through there and cleaning the tube out. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but dirt and grime do build up in there, especially if you're out shooting a lot. So the more clean you can keep that, the better the rifle's going to cycle and feed. Just keep that in mind. It's an easy addition to make. All you do is pop the end off, pop the spring out, drop the new one in, drop the spring in, put the end cap back on, you're done. You know, 5 minutes, you're done. It's a great addition to the rifle, and definitely a great way to help keep the rifle clean, a little less maintenance on the long run. Another nice addition to the rifle is a Ranger Point Precision quick takedown screw. These are nice and handy because you can just unscrew it with your fingers and pop the lever out, go to cleaning, and then put it back together without having to have a screwdriver handy to take that thing apart. Up top, we have the Ranger Point Precision fiber optic sights. We've got a red fiber optic up front, and we have the Picatinny rail with an integrated cloverleaf rear sight that has green fiber optics on the side. These are a great option if you don't want to use an optic and you want to do low light shooting, because you get a really good sight picture with these, especially by eliminating the hood that we had on here originally. And that red and green just line up perfectly for a great shot in low light situations. But to eliminate that and to help better aid in a more ethical harvest, I do use a scope even if I'm shooting at 35 yards. You know, our deer generally come out dawn or dusk. Well, I owe it to them to give a very ethical shot. So no matter what the situation is, I want to be able to do that. So adding an optic, no matter what it is, gives me that little bit more precision. So this is the same optic I had on my 1895 and the 1895 hunting rig overview, which is linked right here. And this is the Redfield Revolution 2-7x33. This is a great little optic for under $200, and Redfield's owned by Leupold now, so it's really good clear glass. And holding it to the rifle, I have the Warren QD mounts. These things are great. They work really well, and I've had great return to zero with them when I take it off and put it back on. So really good option. You know, a few $100, you've got a good optic and a good set of rings, and you're good to go as far as hunting goes. So moving back, again, we have the pepper laminate stock off of my 1895, which I absolutely love. I think the look is just so much better than this, don't you? And of course at the back, like I said at the beginning, we have the Mason leather cartridge cuff. And guys, I'm telling you, this leather is top quality, so well made. And I'll show you an image on the back here. We've got the Gadsden flag stamped on the back. You can get some unique things on here, and he just does such a great job. We've also got a sling from Mason leather, and it's an 1.25 inch sling. Super high quality leather, guys. Really, really good. And same sling swivels I had on the 1895. These are the Grove Tech sling swivels, and they're locking but really easy to unlock. So if you want to take it off when you get to your stand or your blind or wherever you're hunting, and less worry of dinging things up, I like to drop my sling that way. I don't have to worry about getting hung up on anything once I get out there, but I do want the sling so when I'm dragging the deer out, I can sling my rifle and keep on going. One other thing real quick before we get to the ammo on the rifle, I do have a dovetail filler from Ranger Point Precision on here. And you know, when you take your rear sight off, you definitely need to put something back in there because you will get hung up on that. These dovetail fillers are great. I've got one on my 1895 and on this 3030, and they fit really well. You know, you do have to sand them down, lap them on some sandpaper, but once you get it sized to where it needs to be, they're an excellent option. Helps make the rifle more seamless and make it a lot safer for you so you don't get hung up, tear your clothing, cut yourself, or anything like that. Now, what we're feeding the rifle with is Steinel ammunition, 140 grain solid copper hollow points. These are Lehigh Defense bullets loaded by Steinel ammunition, and I gotta say, we have had some awesome luck out of Steinel ammo. If you want to see their heaviest, hardest hitting 45-70 round, check this video right here, 45-70 versus Boston Butts. That is one butt stomping round, and it does some massive damage to the Boston butt, no doubt. A lot of guys are always wanting the latest and greatest to go hunting with. They want a 300 Win Mag or a 45-70 to go deer hunting with, and I love my 45-70. I love it as a deer rifle. I think it's great. But a 30-30 is still a very viable deer rifle, especially, you know, the soft points are great rounds. They really are. Or the Lever Evolution rounds are good rounds. I don't like the way the jacket separates from the core, but they are still very good rounds. They dump a ton of energy and do a lot of damage really quickly. But this year we're going to be hunting with this round from Steinel, and I got to say, you know, check the video right here and see what kind of damage this round does to a Boston butt and the concrete block under the Boston butt. It is absolutely amazing what hydrostatic shock will do. When this little hollow point explodes, there's no coming back from that. So I'm very excited to see what this ammo will do on a deer this year. And once that video is done, I'll have the link right here for you so you can see exactly how it does hunting. You know, just a really good option, and I think it brings a 30-30 into a whole new world now. Definitely a great round from Steinel Ammunition, so check them out as well. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this 30-30 hunting rig overview. This build has been a ton of fun to do. I'm really happy with how it came out. I think it looks great, and I can't wait to take a deer with it this year. If you guys like what you see, give us a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button below, and don't forget to check out Mason Leather and Big Daddy Unlimited linked in the description. Have a good one, guys.